How's everyone? I just want to tell you that Parshat Vayishlach, as I'm sure many of you know, it's one of my favorite Parshiyot because it's probably one of your favorite Parshiyot. It's just jam-packed with so many amazing lessons. It's really, the beginning of Yaakov Avinu's journey back into Eretz Yisrael, the growth that he has, all the triumphs and unfortunately tragedies that occur in this week's Parsha. And I want to focus on just one for a moment. That is the great conflict that Yaakov Avinu has with the Malach. Right? The night before he's about to meet Esav, he fights with the Malach the whole night long, and then it comes to the morning time. Right? It comes to Alot HaShachar, and the Malach has to go up to Shemayim, and Yaakov says, "I will not let you go until you give me a bracha." And we read in Perek Lamed Bet, Pasuk Chav Chet, Vayomer elav ma shmecha. Right? The Malach asks him, "What is your name?" Which is really interesting. Like, how does the Malach not know his name? Vayomer Yaakov. He says, "My name is Yaakov." The next pasuk, Vayomer lo Yaakov yamer od shimcha ki im Yisrael. You'll not be known as Yaakov anymore. Now, from now on, you'll be known as Yisrael. Ki sarita im Elokim ve'im anashim v'tuchal. You have striven with Hashem. You have striven with man. You have faced your challenges, v'tuchal. You have shown yourself worthy. And so therefore, you're not going to be called Yaakov. Yaakov meaning the heel, always sometimes in a difficult position, maybe second best, maybe always constantly having to deal with difficulty, but Yisrael, the one who is successful. Now the interesting thing is, though, if you look at all the names in Chumash and Tanakh that get changed, once they're changed, they're changed. They don't come back. Right? Avram becomes Avraham. We never read about Avram again in the Psukim. Sarai becomes Sarah. We never read about Sarai again. Right? Later on, we read Hoshea and Yoshua. There are a number of examples. Yet with Yaakov becoming Esav, constantly from now on, even though the Malach is saying that you will not be known as Yaakov, but if you look in the Psukim, it's back and forth. Yaakov Yisrael, Yaakov Yisrael. What is the reason for this? So it's very interesting, and I want to tell you a story that hopefully will tell you why it's interesting, at least to me. After World War II, there were DP camps set up all over Europe, and some of these DP camps for the refugees were on the various sites of the concentration camps where they suffered for all those years. And the various armies, the American army in particular, also tried to send chaplains, tried to send rabbis to try to comfort the refugees in whatever way they could. And this is a story that I read a number of years ago, and it's always stayed with me, and I always remember it this time of year because it's so germane to this parsha. And there was this one American Rav, chaplain in the American army, and he struck up a friendship with this young man. And this man did not want to talk about his experiences, and he didn't want to talk much, but they made a lot of small talk. But one day they started talking more about what he went through, and you could see the bitterness coming out of Nebuch, this survivor. And he said, "You know what? When I finally get out of this camp, I'm done with Judaism. I'm done. I don't want to have anything to do with Judaism. I don't consider myself a Jew, a member of the Jewish people. I don't want anything to do with another Jew for as long as I live. I'm done." And what do you say to such a person, right? After what he's been through, how can you judge? You can't judge such a eunuch. So the rabbi just said, what is there? Why? Just explain to me. I can understand the story, but I'd like to just understand more why. And so he said to himself, he said to the rabbi, he said, there was one main thing that I have to focus on. That's just Rav Yair, for all of those in the background who, Baruch Hashem, can't contain himself. So he said there was one main thing. He said, in the camp where I was, there was this one Jew who smuggled in a pair of tefillin. He says, "You know what amount of food they gave us every day? They gave us just enough to starve slowly in the camps. Just enough food so we could starve slowly." And this man had this pair of tefillin, and his price upon putting on a pair of tefillin every day was for you to give your ration of food to him for that day. And so therefore, forget about starving slowly, you'd starve quickly. And Jews would line up, and this man would take from Jews their last little morsel of food on earth every single day. If that's what Judaism is, that's what religion is, I don't want any part of it, I'm out of here. the rabbi said, you know what? I have no excuse for that man. That man, but you have to understand, that man is not Judaism. You know what is Judaism? People who would line up every single day, give up their last morsel on earth, the only bare sustenance that they had, so for that one more day they could put on tefillin, that they could feel human again, that they could feel Jewish again. That's what Judaism really is. That's what I'm telling you. And he says, tell me, my friend. He says, all this time we've been talking here and there, I don't know your name. What is your name? And he said, my name is Wiesenthal. My name is Simon Wiesenthal. Can you imagine what would have happened in the world if this interaction ever happened and Simon Wiesenthal, who was a great man, did tremendous things for the Jewish people. His name would have been Simon Wiesenthal forever, but we never would have known it. What this man did with his name, what this man did with his life. And so therefore we honor his name to this very day. And so what the Malach is telling Yaakov is you get to choose your name in this world. You get to choose, and therefore if you look in the future, if you look in the Psukim and Prakim that come again, you can see the difference in the Psukim. When is it written Yaakov and when is it written Yisrael? And what challenge, what triumph, what tragedy Yaakov Avinu is going through then. And that's why I think the name Yaakov and Yisrael come back again and again. Because it's a lesson for Yaakov, it's a lesson for us as well. What is your name? Which name would you like to be known for in the future? What would you like to be remembered by? What would you like to be remembered as? Wish you tremendous hatzlacha as you figure out what your name will be right now, next year, and in the future. From our Beis Medrash, with all of our love and all of our affection to all of you wherever you are, Shabbat Shalom, have a great Shabbos.